Attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, this is Barb Bruno. I want to welcome you to our special webinar that I'm doing this afternoon. And what we're talking about during this webinar is how do we improve the candidate experience that they're having with us. Individuals in our profession really, are motivated by three things. And I think that most of you would agree with this. We're motivated by the unlimited earning potential we have. I think most of us want to make a difference. And our bottom line is you and I want to improve the lives of the people we represent. I've said often in the past that when I describe the people in our profession, and the reason I think I love all of you so much is we're social workers who like money. I think every one of us truly cares about other people, and that's why when you go to conferences, when you interact with people in the staffing and recruiting profession, they're just a great group of people. I think that the reason for going into this profession is very admirable. And we spend, every day very frustrated by people on both sides of our sale, but it's this motivation. We know we have unlimited earning potential, but who else can say that they come to work every day and what they do for a living is they change people's lives? And that's what you and I do. I conduct weekly webinars for job seekers, and they don't know who I am. I just get on the phone every week and I go, hi, welcome to this week's job seeker call. Today's topic is, and then I train them for 20 minutes, and then I take questions and answers for 40 minutes. Well, they don't know who I am, and so often they complain about us. In fact, a lot of the training that I'm doing now for people in our profession is showing them the perception of candidates because there's such a candidate shortage, so we can, attract them easier and know where they're coming from. But the frustrations they're sharing with me have validated one thing very clear. When they come to you or I, they expect us to find a job. 100% of the people that we attract expect us to either find them a job or put them on a long-term contract, or a temp assignment. They just expect us to find a job. The truth of the matter is, worldwide, the staffing and recruiting profession, we place less than 5% of the people we attract, and that number has been consistent for years. And, we only place 5%. So currently, when you look at all the people that are attracted to you, you're only placing 5 out of 100. If you're working with a VMS situation, you're placing less than that. So currently, what you and I are doing is we're disappointing 95% of the people that come to us. And I'll be real honest with all of you. When I opened my firm, my first firm, I had never worked at a staffing and a recruiting firm, and I thought what we did is place unemployed people in jobs. And it wasn't until I started learning our business that I realized, no, we place people that have skills, stability, experience, and we help them make their next career move. And so for years, it has bothered me, and I don't know if it's bothering you as well, but it just bothered me that we disappoint most of the people that come to us. Now, Forbes and Career Builder have put out surveys recently, and they've proven through big data that the experience a candidate has with your company impacts their future buying decision. It impacts their opinion of us as a profession. That's why they call us you people. And most individuals have had an experience working with a recruiter, either positive or negative. I'm doing a lot of training for LinkedIn now. I recorded several courses for LinkedIn, recruiting courses. And so they're sharing all their data with me. They're sharing all their statistics with me. And it's been really interesting because they also told me that 65% of the people that we're trying to attract as clients have had an experience as a candidate with a staffing and a recruiting firm. So that's a huge percentage. Over 65% of the people that your account executives are trying to attract as a client have had an experience. And considering we're only helping 5% of the candidates that come to us, the chances of these hiring authorities having had a negative experience is very high. And Forbes, Career Builder, if you look at all the publications now, everybody is talking about the candidate experience. I was on a panel not that long ago with several corporate executives, and these were people from Pizza Hut and Kraft and ESPN. I don't even know why I was on the panel with them. They needed somebody from our profession. And it was interesting because the woman from Pizza Hut, what she said was happening is candidates are applying for jobs at Pizza Hut, and when they don't hear anything, they don't get any acknowledgement, they feel like their resume ended up in a deep, dark hole somewhere, they stop buying their pizza. And so everybody is realizing the impact now that whatever experience they have with your company that impacts the future, how they're going to feel about you, if they're going to do business with you, if they do become a hiring authority, and if they're ever going to want to use a recruiter. Now, why do we only place 5%? That sounds terrible, but there's a reason. Many of the candidates we attract don't have the skills, they don't have the experience, they don't have certain certifications or degrees. They're the least placeable candidates. If you are putting postings on job boards or using LinkedIn, people read what they can do, not what they can't do when you have a posting. Many times candidates have unrealistic expectations or major red flags, or they're just outside your niche. It's not what you do. But 100% of the people you attract don't understand these things. They just feel that if they come to you, you've got jobs, and if you don't place them in a job, they're very disappointed. Now, the 95% of the candidate flow that you don't place, the problem is they're the ones that call you the most. If you asked any of your recruiters who calls you the most, it's not your rock stars, it's the people you're never going to place in jobs. And sometimes they call for a daily update because they expect you to find them a job. They also expect you to provide them with free career advice. If you give a job seeker you're not going to place advice one time, you're now their free career consultant, and they're going to keep calling back. And when you quit taking their calls, now they're really upset because sometimes they view you as their only lifeline to find a job. They feel they've put their career in your hands, and it's your responsibility now to find them a job. And unfortunately, this represents your greatest time waster. Because all those conversations you have, all that free advice, all those call-ins, you should be focused on the 5% you will place, and yet the average recruiter spends 90 minutes a day taking incoming calls and giving advice to candidates they're never going to place in a job. And also, these candidates are very vocal when you don't provide results. And, when I first went into this business, they might tell their friends or their family. Now they can get on social media and blast you to thousands of people. In any type of relationship, people need to know three things. They need to know that they can trust you, that you care about them, and that you do what you say you're going to do. And this is not only with our candidates, our clients, but think about your personal relationships, your relationships with your kids, your family, your friends. This is what the human race wants to know. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? And are you going to do what you tell me you're going to do? When you don't find every candidate a job, their perception is that you failed at all three. They can't trust you, you don't care about them, and you didn't do what they expected you to do because they expected you to find them a job. Now, on the other side of this discussion, your success, if you want to have a record year in 2018, your success depends to a great extent on your ability to put most of your focus on the 5% of the candidates you will place on a contract or in a job. Your success depends on that. But on the other side, your reputation depends on your ability to nurture and form lifelong relationships with 100% of the candidates who contact you for help. And you could tell those two are conflicting each other. Your success depends on you focusing on the 5%, but your reputation depends on what you're doing with everybody. And I work with staffing and recruiting firms all the time that had a great reputation in the marketplace. And all of a sudden they start getting, bad posts online, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Glassdoor, and now it's much harder to get that reputation back. So if you've got a good reputation in the marketplace, you want to protect it. You want to protect it by basically providing services. If you provide results and resources to every candidate, their positive experience would result in obviously increased referrals. If you helped me some way, I'm going to give you referrals. I'm going to be positive when I post on social media. The word of mouth, which is something you and I can't buy, improves. And this will be a lifelong relationship because now I feel good about you. But the question is, who has time to do this? I think our biggest problem is timing. We can't manage time. All we can do is manage what we do within the time we have. But, there are not enough hours in the day to cover all the business that you have, let alone help everyone that your business attracts. And I had this dilemma for years. It really worried me because when we would survey our database, the candidates we didn't help, they would always slam us. You wasted our time. Why did you even call me? Why didn't you give me feedback? Why didn't you find me a job? But I never knew how to solve the issue, because I knew that I had to focus where we could make money. I want to offer you two solutions. I've never believed in presenting a problem without presenting you with a solution. you can do one of two things. You can create a resource that's going to help the individuals you won't place, because you've got to give them something to do. If you give them something to do, they quit calling you, because now you're going to ask them if they did it, and half the time they don't. So if you create a resource that gives them something to do, that 90 minutes goes away every day. Imagine the financial impact if you put 90 minutes back in the day of every one of your recruiters. Or you could consider investing in a Happy Candidates career portal, which is something that I basically created for my own company 3 years ago. I did, option one here. I wanted to create a resource that would help the people I wasn't placing. And I did it for my own business, and that was my only intent. And then several owners kept coming to me going, Barb, how did you do that? Like, can I use your program? Or like, is there a way you can private label this where it looks like I did it? And so it took me over a year to be able to private label this for you. But I do believe that this is one of the greatest resources I've created for our profession. Yes, I do training, and I've got all kinds of training resources, but we have an issue, and that's the 95% of people we don't place in jobs. And I felt a responsibility at this point in my career to look at what problems we're facing and how do I help solve it. Because all I care about is that the owners in our profession increase profits and enjoy record years. Because when we're doing that, we're placing more people in jobs, and it's good for everybody. Imagine the benefits if you could offer a resource to your candidates you're not placing. You give them a resource that will do a resume or a CV for them, a free resume builder. They'll get a career advisor. If they do a resume, then they get advice on the perception of hiring authorities on their specific resume. Live weekly webinars where job seekers can ask questions. See, when I do those calls weekly, I go, hi. I don't say it's Barb, Bruno. I go, hi. Welcome to this week's job seeker call. Today's topic is, and then I answer questions so they think I work for you if you have a career portal set up. We send them weekly emails providing career advice and giving them trends. There's a 15-step process in the career portal giving them some of the techniques that you and I use when we're finding people jobs to show them how to find a job on their own. I took the job search and divided into prepare, search and connect, and interview. And there are steps under each of those three main categories that really it's like holding their hand and telling them exactly what to do. There's also an aggregate job board. When they register in the career portal, the Indeed job board is in there. And when they get a notice from Indeed that they have a match, it comes from your company. So they think that you're actually watching the job boards for them. You gave them this resource and you're watching the job boards. Now, I'm upgrading this career portal. We're launching in January. This upgrade has taken me 2 years. I started out by just wanting to upgrade it, and now I put it on a brand new platform, which is why I'm doing this call and offering this at a much discounted rate, because once we launch in January, the price of our career portal is doubling. And I wanted to reach out to all of you that have expressed an interest in this resource so you can get in now. When I launch the new one in January, you're going to be able to list your jobs on each job seeker's homepage. So if they know other people that they can refer to jobs, you're going to have more customization of the look and feel of your site. Right now, you've got choices of colors, but the look of the site is identical. And we're going to give you many, many different choices so it can match up with your website. You're going to see the candidates who register on your site. I've improved the user experience where they're going to get prompts of what to do next more than it is. And by the way, no one is complaining. I have not had one person invest in a career site that has taken it down. Everybody is satisfied, but I always believe that just because it's not broken doesn't mean you can't improve it. And listening to the job seekers, I wanted to do more things. Owners did ask me for more detailed analytics on what people are doing, so we put more detailed analytics in this. There are some paid services. A job seeker can come in the career portal and do everything for free. But what happened is they came back to us and said, can you review my resume? Can you write my resume? Can you update my LinkedIn profile? And we kept saying no. For 2 years, we said no. Finally, I identified resources that can do this for them. So if they want a resume review, for instance, we charge them $7. I pay the resource $5. Then I pay a merchant fee, and you and I split the profits. So if your job seekers do anything that is paid, like right now they're asking for higher level assessment tools. They want some computer training. They want some additional things that we're putting in the new one. That all gives you a chance to, basically earn more passive income. And I wrote a CRM. The CRM took me a year to design. And this is where the job seekers can track their search. And what I'm doing is I wrote prompts and did videos. So before they go, I said, did you prepare? Have you read press and media? And so we're walking them through, and after a job, we send them sample thank you letters and tell them who to contact. So the CRM, there's nothing like it. And this is free to them. It's much better than jibber jabber. I've gone on all the sites out there, and that's why it took me so long to write this. This is like holding their hand, and it gives them a place to track everything they're doing. Because right now they don't know how to track their activity. Imagine if this was your reality. Just imagine this, that you came to work every day knowing you're helping everybody, that the candidates think you created this resource for them because my name is nowhere to be found, that now you get more referrals, the word of mouth advertising improves, you have positive social media posts, and no call-ins from the candidates you won't place. I'm telling you, it puts 90 minutes back in the day of most recruiters. Now, I've got some staffing and recruiting firms that have invested in this. In fact, we have over 500 firms that have career portals. And their feedback to me is it definitely increased their sales and profits because their recruiters are focused on the 5% they're going to place. And the owners said it actually has put more than 90 minutes back in the day. Owners did not realize how much time their recruiting team was spending talking to people they're never going to help in jobs. So this has been the biggest eye-opener, I think, for all the owners. And they had some recruiters say, well, that's my favorite part of the job. I like to do career consulting. And it was never a top producer that said that. And the fact that some of their recruiters liked giving free advice to people they would never place as their favorite part of their job was also a big eye-opener to many owners that own our career portal. Staffing and recruiting firms have also shared the following results. Their candidates are happier because they have a resource that helps them find a job. And their recruiters really are happier because they're earning more money. And they leave work every day knowing they helped everybody. Because just like me, I always worried about the people that were desperate, that called us, and you could tell they were desperate, and we couldn't help them. The people that need us the most, you and I can't help because our clients won't pay fees or margins to hire them. Many of the job seekers who are using this resource, are the people that you and I normally would all but ignore. And when I'm asked to speak at a job fair, I don't go anymore. I just provide access to my career portal, and they love it. I've given it to my church. I've given it to so many nonprofits, battered women's shelters. Anybody that's helping somebody find a job, veterans groups, love using this. And what's beautiful about this, the people that own my career portals call my office all the time and say, we're feeling kind of guilty, Barb. You're doing all the work. We just got a cookie bouquet. We just got a thank you letter. We just got flowers from a candidate because of what the advice you gave them on the phone. And most importantly, they're getting increased referrals. And so, think about that. The candidates you're now ignoring are going to turn into your fans. They're going to be out there telling everybody how great you are rather than complaining that you didn't find them a job. Other benefits is this is a differentiator from you and your competitors. And you're also going to attract new clients. So let me tell you how you do this. I have a firm in Portland, Oregon that had put up a career portal and had been trying to get into a technology company for 2 years. And when she called in, they told her that they were laying off 35 people and that they were not going to be doing any hiring. She offered her career portal as free outplacement. She said, you know what, I've got a resource that your 35 people can use. And they go, how much is it? She said, it's free. And they go, why would you do that? And she goes, well, I want to help your people. And we've got this free resource. And it'll make you look good because you're giving them a resource. And she explained what it was. So they sent their people that they had laid off to her career portal. And 1 week later, they called her and said, we can't believe how much our people love this. And we'd like to give you a couple job orders. And she goes, what? And he said, we laid 35 off, but we're going to be hiring 60. We went a different direction. We had to let go of people that don't have the skill sets. We can't advertise because obviously we're laying people off. But if you do well on these first 2 jobs, we hire contractors, we hire full-time people. We'd love to at least see what you can do because of you giving us this resource. They are now her biggest client, and it was a result of the career portal. Your existing clients have the same problem as you and I have. They have a ton of people applying that they're not hiring either. And so I offer my career portal to all our clients. If you've got candidates that apply that you can't use, you want to give them a resource that will help them find a job, you can send them here. And they love it. And so my clients are also sending the candidates they can't hire to our career portal. Again, it can generate passive income if you put candidates in there every month, and it pays for itself many times over. and increase sales and profits. It gives you a tremendous return on investment. Now, I want to show it to you very quickly. I think I'm kind of a visual person, and I know most people in our profession are visual, so I'm going to try to get over to the career portal right now so you can actually see it. This is my career portal, which you see on the top left. It says HR Search. My site that I developed was HR Search Inc. Okay, and the reason I just took my name and put the word site behind it. So when you're setting up a career portal, you figure out the name of what you want to name your career portal. I kept mine with the name of my company, HR Search Inc. I just put the word site. But you see how I've got it in 3 steps: prepare, search, and connect, and interview. You know, over here you can see some of the paid services like the cover letters or the resume review. When they click on these tabs like prepare, you can see the different steps. What kind of job are you looking for? How do you determine your targets? How do you create your documentation? How do you improve? How do you set standards, goals? And so it's like us holding their hand. And there's 15 steps in here that walk them through everything they need to do. We talk about how you build networks, how do you schedule informational interviews. And so when they finish these 15 steps, believe me, they put great momentum behind their search. There's also live weekly calls that they get, and they get a weekly email that they think is coming from you, giving them job search advice and just giving them updates on trends. And so it takes you 15 minutes to set this up, and we're basically putting our arms around them and taking care of them for you. I want to show you the 2 webinars. Like, I'm doing a webinar on the 19th of December, the 9 things to do before an interview. That's just a sampling of the type of webinar I do. On the 28th of this month, I'm doing Why is January the Best Time to Escalate Your Job Search? And so they can sign up for these calls, and we record everything. And after we record them, they either become part of the 15-step process or they go in this library. So they've also got access. If they just want training on networking, they can click on this and listen to every bit of training we've done on networking. So the look and feel is going to be your look and feel. It's going to be your name, your logo, your address, your contact information. But again, once you put candidates in here, we're keeping in touch with them for you. And so all you do is set this thing up, and then basically we take over from there. So it's just a matter of getting the career portal set up, which takes let me get to my current slide. Okay, this is it. So we set it up for you, and then you take it from there. You just focus on the 5% you're going to place, and we take care of the other 95% for you. If you want to view a career portal after the call, we've got a sample career portal up. It's called myjobsearchresources.com. So if you want to experience this, you want to try it out, before you're thinking of investing, all you have to do is use a correct email address. Like you can register as Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse, or I don't care, Donald Duck. This is just a sample career portal that we set up to play around. This is not one of the new ones that we're launching in January, but this still will give you, the step-by-step process and show you what we've been using for the last 3 years. That's working very well. So if you want to see one, before you think about this, go to myjobsearchresources.com and register as a job seeker. You could even participate on the call on the 19th and see the caliber of call that I do. And if you're that, like, I like to see things too, so that's why I wanted to give you that URL. I think you've got 3 options. You can hang up right now, or you can listen to the rest of the call and do nothing and continue just what you're doing right now. Assist 5% of the candidates you attract. Or you can develop your own site or resources. It's a good idea, but I can tell you it's very time-consuming and extremely expensive. Like, you can look at mine and try to do something similar to mine. I don't mind if you do that, but I can tell you it's extremely expensive and time-consuming. Or you can set up a Happy Candidates career portal. And you might think, what a cheesy name, Happy Candidates. I had several different names I thought of, but truthfully, isn't that what we want? We want every person that experiences us to be happy, to have their life better for having interacted with us. And so within 15 minutes, you could get this resource set up, and now you've got a resource that your entire team can use, and it puts 90 minutes back in your day, and your candidates love you. Now, obviously, I think option 3 is the best decision, but I'm not objective. A positive candidate experience is going to continue to be a challenge. This isn't going away. Every economist, every person out there that is giving predictions for our profession is saying that the candidate experience is going to have a bigger impact. If you look at big data, they're backing this up. And again, you need to resolve this, especially since we're in a candidate-driven market, and that's not going away either. The baby boomers are no longer the majority in the workforce. It's the millennials. You've got baby boomers retiring 1 every 6 seconds. The millennials have taken over that have very much a gig mentality. You use the global competition for talent and the virtual worker right now, and you can see why, we've got to resolve this issue. And I can tell you this career portal guarantees a positive candidate experience. We have no negative feedback after 3 years. Now, you can call today to receive a 40% discount, which is basically $400. This career portal normally costs $999. And for anybody investing as a result of this call, your investment is $599. And if you put candidates in here, you'll get that back in passive income. And you will also more than get it back in increased, profitability. This offer is good through December 22nd. And by the way, if you invest through this offer, you will have that $599 price from now going forward. So if we increase the price of the Happy Candidates Career Portal in future years, like we're increasing it to $999, it really is $999 right now, but we're offering you a 40% discount. But if the price keeps going up in the Career Portal, you will always have that $599 price, as long as you are a Career Portal owner. So this 40% discount is, for anybody that is listening to this call. If you want to review the Career Portal again, you've got to use a correct email address to get the experience of it. But I wanted to show you the site one more time, which is myjobsearchresources.com. And you can go in there and log in as a sample, candidate. Just use a logical, a valid email address. Your business, your team, your clients, and your profits will all benefit greatly from candidates who are happy. That's the bottom line. When people like us, they refer people to us. They use us. And, we don't have to like the people that we represent, but they have to love us. And right now, there's a lot of people that don't because they don't understand why we're not finding them a job. This offer is not listed on my website. So to take advantage of this offer, you would need to do one of two things. You would either need to call my office, and the number is right there. You can write that down. Or you can send an email to our support line, which is support@staffingandrecruiting.com, and just put the words Career Portal in the subject line, because I want to make sure that I personally answer all of your support, questions that you may have. So if any of you have any questions, all you have to do is either call our office or go to the support line. If you want to sign up to have a career portal, you also need to call us, because if you go on the website, happycandidates.com, it has a $999 price, and I want to make sure that you get the 40% discount if, in fact, you decide to invest. What I'd like to do right now is answer any questions you have. You can ask me questions one of two ways. I wanted to limit the time of this call because I respect your time, and that's why I wanted to limit this to 30 minutes, but I'll stay on here as long as you have questions. You can ask me questions one of two ways. You can find your name, and you can in the attendee list on the right-hand side in the control panel, and there's a little hand that looks like a hand being raised. If you click on that, I can unmute your lines and you can talk to me, or you can go down below and where the word question is, click on questions and type your question in. I'd be glad to answer that. Lynette, I see you have a question. I've just unmuted your line. What's your question? Lynette, last name starting with a Z. Did you have a question? Lynette, if you called in on your computer, okay, and not on a phone, I can't unmute your line. So if you have a question, if you go down below where it says questions on the control panel and just type your question there, I'd be glad to answer your question, because for some reason I can't unmute your line. Let me see if anybody else raised their hand. No raised hands, but lots of questions. So let me go back to the questions. Let's see here. Okay. Does anybody else have access to my candidates? No. When you sign up for a career portal, you're going to get a part of the sign-up process is you pick a domain name. And like I said, I took HR Search Inc. and just put site after it. Or you can come up with a whole new name like the one I gave you as an example, myjobsearchresources.com. It can be any name you want. Only you have access to the candidates that are in the career portal. We don't even have access to them in my office because, the server is not here. We have, 2 or 3 different backup servers. And so Only you have access to the candidates. Only they have access. Like when you list your jobs, it's going to be on the candidates that you have in your career portal. Can you provide more feedback as to what we can do as an employer to increase candidate satisfaction? The big thing is we're disappointing 95% of them. So candidates are very satisfied when we find them a job. When we don't find them a job, they're not happy. So we've got to provide them with resources that help them find a job. You know, and for years I would give them a list of things they could do or places they could go, but it wasn't a process that helped them find a job, and so they weren't real happy. It wasn't until I rolled out the career portal that now our feedback is tremendous. You mentioned that you get a lot of feedback from your weekly webinars. Do you share that with subscribers? Yes. What we do, Lynette, is we have a career advisor that goes out to all the job seekers once a week. We have a communicator that goes out to our career portal owners. And what we're doing is we're letting you know what calls we're doing for them. We're letting you know how to promote it. We're also, like I've had some owners come up with a way that they're earning $1,500 using the career portal as part of their outplacement offerings. So they're getting resumes done by our resume writers. They're offering the career portal access, and they're charging people $1,000, $1,500 a person. They're making a lot of money off the career portal using it as an outplacement. So when people come up with ideas like that to make more money, when we're learning things from the job seekers, you know, and getting feedback, we put that in the communicator basically to keep you informed of what's going on. You know, and obviously you can register as a job seeker in your career portal and get all the career advisors from us. You know, but what you want people to do is, you know, like a lot of our owners put a badge or a button on their website because they want people to realize that they've got this resource that they can use. And I have a lot of owners that are sending everybody to their career portal, not just the candidates they're not going to place, because it's like prepping the candidate. You know, this is keeping them busy, and they're on job boards anyway. So a lot of the owners of the career portal are sending everybody here because they go, Barb, you're helping prep our candidates. Like you're keeping them busy, and we know they're on job boards anyway. So the fact that you know, they're getting it through us and they think we're watching it for them, they love us. And so, you know, we don't mind. And so we're doing that as well. Can you give us your office number one more time? Yes. You know, the office number is listed. It's the 219-663-9609, the number right on the screen. That's my office. And again, if you want to look at one first, you know, go to the www.myjobsearchresources.com. And this offer, like I said, is good up until the 22nd. We're doing a strategic planning meeting, and then we're launching the new career portal in January. And by the way, I'm going to be doing extensive training and a lot of calls showing everybody all the new things we're doing on the new career portal. So we'll be training your receptionists, your recruiters, your account executives on how they can put this as an offering of value-added service to the people they're representing. And so we're going to be doing live training calls and answering questions for your team in January when we launch the new career portal. So this is perfect time to set up, you know, because you can get it set up, and then we're going to be doing free training calls in January this year where your people can ask questions. And we want them to see how it benefits them to use this. How many career portals do you have set up? Have any canceled? We've had 7 cancellations, but those were 7 companies that went out of business. We have a little over 500 career portals that have been purchased. We have 460, I think, that are active. A lot of people bought them. They haven't set them up yet because they're waiting till we launch the new one. They're buying, you know, with the reduced price just because they wanted to buy it because they know the price is going to increase. So we have like 50 some odd people that have invested and haven't set them up yet. But we've only lost 7, and the 7 we lost were companies that went out of business. So we don't lose our clients because they realize the benefit pretty quickly. This, you know, you really do see the benefits very quickly. And again, your recruiters are going to be shocked at how much time they have when they're not giving free advice, when they're not taking all those incoming calls that waste their time. All right, I see no more questions. Let me see if any of their hands are being raised. I see no hands being raised. I will send all of you the recording of this call. Every one of you that registered will get a recording of the call. So if you have any questions, call my office. If you're not the decision maker and you want to show this to your owner, who is a decision maker, you know, please just send the recording to whoever it is that's the decision maker in your office and let them know, you know, how this can benefit and increase sales and profits, because that's what it does. All right, I want to thank all of you for joining me. If I don't talk to you between now and the holidays, I wish the happiest of holidays to all of you and great prosperity in the coming year. And I greatly appreciate you being on the call with me today. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you.